Good morning, everyone. This is Nikki Backer D'Angelo here for another Come Fly With Me, and today we're going to get back into Simcoders Reality Expansion Pack for the stock Cessna 172 in X-Plane. Wow, that's a long video. Title? Out of breath just saying it, but this is Cessna Rock's livery for the stock Cessna 172, which was already a very good aircraft. Yesterday, I made a flight from RYY over here to PDK. So from Cobb County International Airport, McCollum Field, to Peachtree DeKalb Airport in Atlanta. Today, we're going to go out to the South Practice area, do a stall. Actually, we'll do a couple of stalls. We'll do a departure stall, a approach to landing stall, and I'll work with 30 and possibly 45 degree steep turns. So let's take this thing up and see how she does. Okay, first and foremost, make sure that the walk around is done. So parking brake is set. Okay, we can do that here. Parking brake is set. Pilot's handbook we already looked at. Avionics power switch is off. Ignition switch is off. Master switch on. Alright, we're going to bring down one level of flaps, another level of flaps, another level of flaps, and we are going to turn it off. Go back around, fuel selector valve on, off, it's on, fuel shut-off valve is on, this off, we want this over here, fuel selector valve is on both, trim controls done. I think the static, when it's asking me about the static, I'm not exactly sure. It's over here somewhere. Static pressure alternate source valve. Static pressure alternate source valve. I think it's underneath if I remember, or it's right there. Nope, it's underneath. So we're not going to find that one. So we're going to come here, make sure this is secure. Come around, we're going to check the elevator, check, see underneath here, those those things right there, and right here we're going to check for the safety wire. And of course, I was showing you what we have to check for this. So these are the items that we're checking also, making sure the trim tab and the antennas and everything are all set. Coming over here, looking at the emergency locator transmitter, taking care of all these antennas, making sure they're secure. We're going to check this. When we do so, we're going to check the bolts that put this out, make sure that they're tight. Over here, we're going to check for full deflection. We have full deflection. And come to this side, change the tie down. We should be checking fuel over there, but we're not checking fuel quantity here. See, there's no way to check this. I don't know what they want. Over here, I'm going to check the tires for wear. Tires look okay right now. Check for any leaking brake fluid. And of course, we're going to check for oil. Oil seems to be, we're okay with oil for now. 5 is the minimum. Propeller and spinner, we're going to check it. Make sure the cover's off, and then we're going to look inside there and check and make sure there's no birds that have built nests. I'm going to come over here, check the oil cooler. Check nose wheel again, 4 fingers over here. Wear, and just make sure there's nothing else wrong with it. We just skipped over the static port over there, of course. This is very basic. The one on the Airfoil Labs is a little bit better. We're up over here checking fuel again. Again, we can't do that. Coming back around. Pitted tube, making sure it's clear, making sure the stall warning is clear. Landing lights, making sure everything is cool here. Coming out, checking the wing chip, checking the nav lights, and then coming over to the aileron and checking for full deflection on this side. Checking when you have it up, making sure all the safety wire and everything around the nuts holding things together. Same thing here. Same thing here. And then I'm going to toggle chocks and everything. And the one thing that we did skip was the 13 different fuel drains. Alright, now we're ready. So now we can say done, 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 done. Why did you go away? Is it because I didn't move you to somewhere? We'll see. As we go, where were we? Fuel shutoff valve, then we go. And of course these don't work in this game, but they do work on the Airfoil Labs version of this. Beacon light is on. I think this always comes on after though. So beacon light is on, avionics switch is off, master switch is on, auxiliary fuel pump is on. We're going to 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000, 4, 1005. You see it? Boom. Off. Clear. Prop. That's weird. Okay. So we're going to give it a little bit more prime. 1000, 2, 1000, 3, 1000. Oh, there we go. Bam. Bam. Clear prop. And there it goes. It fired. And it fired. And we're going to come back to 1000. Checking the instruments. Making sure everything comes up in the green. Everything's in the green. I'm going to go to the next page. We already had that. We're going to lean for max peak. Just got to wait for it to happen. Flaps are going to be retracted. Flaps retracted. And that will take a little bit to come up. That's fine. And then we're going to turn on our light here. Next thing that we're going to do over here, 128.4. And we'll see where we have to go to take off. Alright, there we go.
DeKalb Peachtree information Papa. 1400 Zulu weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 20, dew point -17. Altimeter 3015. Arriving runway 03 right, departing runway 03 right. Advise on initial contact you have Papa.
Alright, so I think that's it. Okay. Flight instruments are set for me.
DeKalb Peachtree information Papa.
Let's check this.
1400 Zulu weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 20, dew point -17. Altimeter 3015.
34 degrees.
Arriving runway 03 right, departing runway 03 right. Advise on initial contact you have Papa.
Right about there. Okay, good. Alright, and 03 left and right. We have Papa. Wind is calm. Okay. And we're going to go. And we're going to take one person back with us. I think there's only one person here. Let's take a look. Alright, we're all set to go, I believe. We're going to come in here, go to OpenX Economy, get these people back home, but we will do a little bit of fun before we do that. So there's Bravo. Make sure our taxi light and our nav lights are on. The second thing that we got to do is make sure this is on altitude. Good. And we're ready to go. As we pull out, we're going to check our brakes. Then we're going to turn this aircraft around, which means a little bit of differential braking there. You want to be very careful with how much you add. You don't want to add too much. Right. We are going down to runway 03 left. Now we don't have VFR ATC in the game right now, so we are going to be without any ATC. Okay, we're good. Rolling right around there. Very, very good. A little bit fast, but not dangerous. Just keep it centered and we'll be fine. I like that they've fixed the ground roll on this. I feel like there's an aircraft right behind us. We'll find out that in a second, but we're going to go right up to this run-up area over here. And we're going to slow ourselves down. Oh, that was not even. You would be able to get it even in real life, but that was not even. I'm going to come over here. And we're going to do a run-up in this area over here. And of course what we're going to do is we can see right there that the wind is actually coming from this direction right there. Why they're using 3-3 I don't, or 0-3 right and 0-3 left, I don't know. So I'm going to pull this out. We're going to open up our kneeboard. I'm going to go to the next one. So next one, parking brake set. Flight control is free and correct. I'm just going to move. I'm going to put this on just so you can see this. Flight control is free and correct, and I'm going to be looking around when I do that. I'll be looking over here to see the deflection, see it deflected, and then I should be able to do the same thing in the other one. I'm not going to go crazy on that. I want to get this done a little bit quicker. We will select a valve on both. Elevator trim set. I think we need to go this way a little bit. There we go. Elevator trim set. Mixture flow rich for run up. Autopilot check disconnect. It's disconnected. We're going to throttle up to 1800. Slow and easy. You don't want to do it too quickly. Especially in the sim, you can't hear it exactly right. Alright, then we're going to check for the drop. And we have the drop. Okay. Yep, we have the drop again, and we're good. Alright. I'm going to check engine instruments now. So ammeter, engine instruments, suction is good. Temperature's coming up, pressure is good. We have fuel. Engine chip, okay, that's good. I'm going to just check throttle all the way back to idle. Again, pulling it back slowly, not hard. And running it at that could actually hurt us a little. So we're good. Okay, that was good. See, we checked over here. Everything still works. We're good. Alright, radios are set. The next radio that we're going to need is 1-2. And that's going to be for our trip back to RYY. There we go. And we're good. Doors are closed. Flaps are going to be as required. We'll put flaps out as we get closer to the runway. And we are good to go. I love that this one does not release the brakes when you push down the parking brake when you push down both brakes. Only can be turned with the lever. So we're a little bit heavy for this. We're going to be checking performance under a full load. And you do have to be deliberate with your maneuvers, but don't over control when you're using a free caster steering system, which means my pedals do not control the nose wheel on this aircraft. It's the air over the rudder that is going to move us in a direction, and the wheels are going to freely turn. At slower speeds where there's not enough air moving over the rudder, I'm going to be using differential braking. Alright, so we're good here. This is another run-up area over here. I did not use this one. Mainly I didn't use this one because I like the bigger one. Some of the bigger jets and aircraft that come in here, they scare you when you're over there. The wings are a little big sometimes. Especially the TBMs that land here. That guy, Steve-O Knievo. Ugh, love him. Alright, so here we go. Alright, and we're going to get on here in a second. So this is our last check. We want to make sure. Just going to look down again. Fuel selector valve both. Nav lights are on. Taxi lights are off. Landing lights are on. Flaps are set to 10. Engine instruments are correct. We're going to set to runway heading, which it is a 30. Okay, we're good to go. Seem to be having everything good, everything kosher here. Full rich. Alright, and we're going to turn on to the numbers right now, and then smoothly, see that? That's what I'm talking about, over controlling. Smoothly apply all the way up to full. Airspeed is alive. I guess that means when airspeed is moving, 55 knots, we're going to start to rotate, and we're just going to let the aircraft lift up off the ground. And we're going to climb out at 75, and we're going to fly runway heading. Keeping that ball in the center and flying runway heading. 180 horsepower engine on this thing should be more than enough to keep us nice and even. Stability is off on this aircraft. A Cessna's positively stable because of the wings, the way that they're set up, so you could put it into a turn and it will come back wings level, and that's not something this is doing. You can see I am at full power. We'll test that at a lower power. I'm going to lower the nose just a little bit to get our 75. There we go. We are more than 500 feet above the ground now. Flaps are coming up. We should get some more speed up now. Alright, we are going to start our turn to the west. And we are going to climb up to, I guess about 4,500 feet. So I'm going to go to degrees. 340 degrees. Right there. I'm just going to set this on 340 degrees and keep it centered. Okay. 2,000 feet, 2,500 to go. And this is going to be another one of those, let's get out to the south, to the practice area, and let's do some, just a couple of maneuvers and see how it handles. I'm hoping there's a little bit of a wobbling in the flight dynamics. Okay, landing lights are off. Everything seems to be good. In the green. Fuel flow is nice. It's up there. It's nice. There isn't as much deflection of the ball and the slip indicator right here as there is in the airfoil labs. Of course, we're identifying a $20 plug-in instead of a $30. I should say we're evaluating a $20 plug-in instead of a $30+ aircraft. Coming up on 3,000. It's a nice look here. The sounds are definitely different in this. Definitely different. And we're moving back to the left, so we need to keep that right rudder in. It might be that the aircraft isn't displaying enough of that tendency for the ball to be out of there. Maybe the turn and slip is off? I don't know. Okay. Getting our 700 foot a minute right now. 70 knots. I'll lower the nose just a little bit more. Try to get it up to 75. There we go. There is our almost 500 knots. I mean 500 feet. There it is, 500 feet a minute. Still turning. $500 feet to go. Well, 1,000 feet to go, I should say. At this point, we should still be in the airspace. We can go up to 7,500 feet here. Set course to 279. We do not need to set course to 279. These people are going with us for just a quick stall test, and then we'll be fine. Going to 330 now. And what I'm trying to do is I'm going to go north of the field at 4,500 feet. And then I'm going to turn to the west. And hopefully that is something that looks a little bit good for this. Alright. I'm going back. I have a lot of tiles being built today. I am going back to the old ways. What ways are those? The ways of the Wiccan. Gotta maintain that. Maintain that. And there is 4,500 feet. I'm going to get ready for the altitude intercept, which is going to be nose level, or wings level, nose to the horizon. We'll start it now. Gain that speed. And there we go. Just keep it there and keep the trim coming off. We're going down. And we're going to pull back. And we're going to lean out our mixture for 4,000 feet. Should be right about there. We'll check it. We'll look for peak in a few minutes. And all we got to do is keep this thing up. Alright. And we should be going around 110, but it might be that we're hitting a little bit of wind at this altitude. I just have to let the speed come up a little bit. Lost almost 100 feet. We're going to pull back on here. Push our throttle in a little bit. Yeah, our EGT is almost perfect. Exhaust gas temp. almost north of the field at this point. It must be a nice wind at this altitude. I should check real life weather and see how close Exenbiro has it. Right, I'm gonna add just a smidgen of, there we go. Just a smidge, and I'm going to save all because that's where I want it. Alright. Got our altitude back. Our speed's coming up slowly to 90, but we're not getting more than that, so we probably have a nice headwind. Okay, so I'm going to turn to 300 degrees. Just to get past RYY, which should be off our right wing. Somewhere over there. Let's make a shallow bank, intercept it, and come back. Okay, we're not getting up to 100 knots. That's kind of weird. My guess is that they are landing on runway 27. Let's take a look and see.
Cobco MC Column International Airport.
Nope, they are on 29. We're fine. On runway 09. We will be fine. Keep this aircraft trimmed. 300 degrees. We're good. And the airport should be up. I see the airport. Airport's right there. So we can go to 27. We can come out to 27 a little by little. And we'll check stall performance in just a little bit. And maybe we will push this into fast forward at this point. See what time it is and see if we have time for all this. Yes, we do. It's 8:11. More than enough time for this. I feel like there's a dead zone that needs to be put in here. This aircraft just keeps on rolling to the left. Watch it. Is it steady? No. Is it steady? Maybe I did it. Nope. It's rolling to the left little by little, if you see this. And I think that's just a little bit too much P factor. In real life, I'd be able to pull this off and I wouldn't have to continuously fix that. Schwartz. Alright, we have a little bit longer to go here. I might just leave this whole thing on just so you see how I'm fighting with different things here. Try to figure this out later. Just isn't right. Okay, our fuel flow is down around 6, maybe 5 gallons an hour right now. We're sipping fuel at this altitude. It had us going down for a little bit. Now we're going up again? That's just weird. Alright, let's lose that altitude. There's RYY right there. You can tell by the lake and mountain, which isn't showing up. It's behind my bar over there. But that lake is actually a quarry, and that quarry is actually bigger than it looks. don't want to go towards the airport. Okay. So we're going towards the big lake in front of us, not Vulcan Lake over to the left of us. So the big lake is right over there, and then we're going to do a couple of stalls and do a couple of steep turns. We're supposed to be looking for traffic. I don't see anyone. Nobody. Let's see if there's anybody on the map. On the map there are people everywhere, but is there anyone near us? Nobody. So we're good. We are good. That would be like looking on a Garmin Pilot or ForeFlight with one of the traffic reporting devices connected to it. That's what we could call that. That cheat I just had looking for traffic. Making sure nobody's coming up off of the departure path, turning to this area off the runway. We're just going to get over that lake and just set up for a couple of clearing turns, and then we're going to go into slow flight, and then we're going to do a departure stall. Actually, we'll start with the approach to landing stall. Because that will mean setting up slow flight, and we'll see how it could do. We've got 3 people in here though, so this should be a profitable flight regardless of how long we're here. I'm starting to cut a little bit more to the north because I want to be over that lake. That is the lake from the Ozarks, by the way. From Ozark. Yes, they filmed it right in my backyard, practically. Well, my area where I live. People that have a backyard on that lake are a lot luckier, or not luckier, more fortunate than I am. They've found their fortune, and I need to find mine. Alright, so I think we're going to be in a good area here. Yeah, we're just north of the airport, so we'd be still within their traffic pattern. Let's get out 5 miles. This will show you where the airspaces are. So what we're doing is we're going to shoot up towards VPC. And then we'll cut back down. And across. Okay, so I'm just doing clearing turns as I go. It could be better, but it does have good visibility out. It's a beautiful day here in Georgia today, and X-Enviro is definitely delivering that feel that I see outside. It's gorgeous. So I'm just doing a clearing turn, making sure no one's here. And when 27 comes on my left wingtip, I will start turning the other way. So in other words, when I'm pointing north, I'll stay here for a second, and now I'll point the other way. And we'll make this a standard rate turn. Let the nose drop. And looking for traffic. Coming back west. And rolling out. I was a little bit over control in that rollout, but that's fine. Alright, now the next thing that we're going to do, if we were in a carburetor heat situation, we could use it, but this is a fuel injected unit, so I don't think you would actually use it. So we're going to pull back to about 1500. I'm going to maintain our altitude. so I'm going to pull back a little bit harder. Trim it, trim it, trim it. Trim it for that speed. Keep it at 1500. We have lost almost 50 feet. We got to keep it coming. And keep that altitude coming up. And drop the level of flaps. And we are going to need a little bit of power to keep our altitude. We're a little bit heavier than we normally are, so our stall speeds are going to be off. She is mushy like the Cessna is. We are going to make a turn. I'm going to use power for altitude and pitch for speed. Try to get our altitude back. We are going to make a turn, standard rate turn to the east. And then we're going to make one back to the south. Not the south, the west. Okay, this is just another clearing turn. And she's handling slow flight just like I would expect. She's still maneuverable. She's got us going. Come on, keep that at standard rate. Gaining back that speed. Okay. There we go. Gaining back that altitude. Don't do that. Don't do that. Keep it right there. We've got our altitude back, and she's got a really, really tight turning radius when you do this. Alright. Go back to west. So she handles slow flight pretty decently. Alright, I'm not going to let the wings go like that. I'm going to add another layer of flaps. I'm going to pull back on the throttle for altitude. There. Last layer of flaps. Let's try to stall her. Keep the wings level. We don't want to spin. There it goes. Wing drop. And we got our speed back. Alright, that was not bad. Okay, let's set up for a departure stall. Okay, let's let it come back up. Let it come back up. Let's retrim it. And 1500. Start setting up for it. Put 10 degrees of flaps in. Hold, and 55 knots. Full throttle, and keep pulling back. Keep the ball in the center, keep the wings level. And that's it, right there. Ooh. Ooh, that was good. That was good. That was good. Alright. So we've got that down. Let's trim her up for speed over here. Let's get it back in. Alright, that was a scary one, but it worked. That is the drop that I was expecting. Okay. Alright. Perfect. We'll get our speed back. Then we're going to start attempting at about right there. We're going to do some stalls, not stalls, some steep turns. So we're looking west. And we are going to turn to 30 degrees. And keep that ball in the center. 30 degrees. Keep that Keep that altitude. There we go, 30 degrees. Keep that nose. Drop that nose. Look around. Stop. Look around. And coming back to west. Roll out the barrel. And there we go. That's one steep turn. She handled it very amazingly. I didn't, but she did. Alright, so not so bad. The performance is okay. Can't say it's perfect. And we're going to go back the other way in just a second. And we're going to do a steep turn to the right. 75 knots. Keep that ball in the center. Keep that altitude coming up, going down. Okay, this is a little bit better. Come back west. I think the people in the back are getting a little bit disoriented. And don't let us lose any more. And roll it out. Alright, that's good. We did it. Okay. I'm convinced it's not perfect, but it's good. Alright. I'm going to turn the aircraft back down. I'm going to set up a descent at 1800. We're going to turn south, and we're going to intercept the approach to RYY. It's not actually going to be a south, but we're going to go into a descending left turn. I'm going to descend 500 feet a minute. Maybe a little bit more. We'll gain some speed back. Okay, and the airport is going to be coming up on our left, well, in front of us. I think it's right over there. So we're going to turn towards the outside of the mountain over here. I'm going to call our spot, which is McCollum Tower, Cessna, I think it's 429 Charlie Papa, 5 miles northwest, inbound for landing with information Mike. And they'll probably just tell us to come and do a straight-in approach, which is what 90% of the approaches are that I hear on their radios are. So we are just going to come down this way, lose our altitude. We need to lose 1,500 more feet. Well, 1,700 more feet. We want to keep our speed down just a little bit in this descent. So I'm pretty impressed with this. For $20, it turns this aircraft into something that is definitely usable and incredible. Let's do our pre-landing checklist, which is going to be over here. Alright, before landing, seatbelts adjust, fuel selector valve both, engine gauges are set, heading indicator we would be playing with right now, altimeter setting, we should check that.
Cavco MC Column International Airport Information Papa. 1400 Zulu weather. Wind calm, visibility more than 10. Sky clear, temperature 22, dew point minus 15.
Set.
Altimeter 3021.
Oh, it's Mike. We missed
Arriving
it.
runway 09, departing runway 09.
Radio
Advise
set,
on initial
autopilot off,
contact, you
mixture
have
rich. Okay, we're good. We are good. And coming down to pattern altitude. I think the airport's to our left. Yeah, it is. It's behind the bar. We're just going to continue the descent over here. I'm I'm going to bring it back up to about 1900. Full rich. I'm going to keep us on this heading. About 150 degrees. Turn east when I see the field. I don't see my landmark, which is the quarry, yet. But we should be close. Alright, so we're coming. This is our turn because I see that coming around, which is up. Yeah, it was. See? We were just a little bit late with the turn, but we have more than enough space to actually make up. So we will come over and set this puppy down on runway 9. Did it say it was runway 9 or did it change? Did it say 27?
Cobco MC
No,
Column
it was
International.
9. Okay. Okay, we are on a long final. A very long final. We still have a layer of flaps in there. I think we should keep that. That was kind of ridiculous. I should have lifted that flap up after that last stall. Very, very poor decision making here. But, you know, you make mistakes, you teach people about them. Alright, keep it at 500 feet per second. And you'll crash into the ground and make a big hole. Keep it about 500 feet per minute, and you'll touch down beautifully. Alright, I think the reason why... There I go. That's where I should be. Okay. Alright. This approach, we're just a little bit... We're getting pushed a little bit to the left. Alright, we're going to take ourselves to the right a little... I mean, to the left a little bit. We're getting pushed to the right. I think that's good right there. It's a little bit... You can hear the environment push... You know, it gives you an indication a little bit of the wind. And you do feel a little bit more speedy coming in these days. Look at this. It's pretty cool. And we're going to get in there. We probably didn't check our altimeter, so we didn't have everything all set. And we add another layer of flaps in there just to keep us stable at a slower airspeed. We come back to 1500 now. We're coming over the airfield. And we have that third layer of flaps in, or third notch of flaps. And we just let it settle down 500 feet a minute. We don't want to break that. We land a little long on a 7,000 foot runway or 6,000 foot runway, we're okay. We don't want that much speed. There we go. Oh, it looks like we're going to be fine. A little bit of wind. You can see the gusts pushing us up and down. It's not me. And then what you want to do is just start bringing this back to what essentially is slow flight. And taking off little by little. And that was good. And we're good. Alright folks, and we've made it back to the airport. We did quite a number of tests today. We took off from PDK. We practiced maintaining a heading with this. I found that it just has a little bit too much tendency to roll to the right, which I really have to get back in an aircraft to tell if that is the case. I'll know that 2 weeks from tomorrow. Today's Eclipse Day. This is the 21st. The 29th is my first flight in 17 years. So we'll check that out. We want to get ourselves leaned out for taxi. Not that much. That's not lean, that's off. Okay, there we go. A little bit fast on this taxiway right now. There we go. That should be better. So 2 weeks from today, tomorrow, I should be back in an aircraft, and I'll be able to tell you a little bit better on how these things actually do react in slow flight and in something like stalls, steep turns. But for now, I'd say that today was successful in saying that the Simcoders expansion pack, the reality expansion pack for the stock Cessna, is definitely a purchase. Get out there and get it, folks. It's beautiful. Alright, so what we did learn is that my altitudes were off. I could tell you that right now. We should have been right about there. And we weren't. It was bad. So that landing, that hard landing, that being low on final was all because I failed to get my weather, because I was trying to get here quick, because the whole game crashed a little bit ago. Alright, so we're going to come over here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Alright, we're going to go over here. My rudder's just pushed right across the floor. And we're going to try something new today. I'm going to go over here. And we're going to stop it right there. Okay, so we're going to start turning things off over here. Avionics off. Lights off. Beacon stays on till we turn it off. Pull back on this. Turn this off. And turn this off. Alright, first things first. People, get out. And then next thing's tow. Alright. Alright, I'm trying to do this. It's been a while. And trying to line up this aircraft, sometimes I'm using the... So we want it to go back to the right. Far back to the right, and then far back. Whoa, we don't want you to go back that far. The brakes should not work. Let's pull it just a little bit more. Alright, to about there. I usually, I don't know if you're supposed to, but I normally put the wings right over that area. Back when I did it in New York, it was a little bit different than this, but we're just going to say this is done. We are ready. We are ready to just say, folks, that was a good day. Let's take a look at the second landing that we had. It was a little bit better than the first. Maybe the same. We won't know ever. So here we go. Let's go to the right there, and let's do it. And we're going to take a look at this. See how we did. Here comes our shadow. I think we did fine on this landing. I honestly do. I think it was a sweet landing right on the numbers. Well, not the numbers, right on the line. Was it? No, it wasn't even close to the line, was it? How high are we? Oh, it was. Right on the line. Nope. Not really, but close. And we're using a little bit of our brake there. A lot of bit of our brake. Alright, so a nice landing. So I'm going to turn this off now. Go back to here, and we're going to take a look at the maintenance record. Just see if anything changed here. So our battery... I don't see it here. Is it here? Cylinders are okay. Compression's good. 8 quarts max. Min 5. Clean. 98 hours before change. That's not bad. Okay, okay. Clean. Default. Fouling more. Switch. I'm going to leave them. Spark plugs are clean. Everything looks good there. Fan is stopped. Nope, we don't need to preheat. Current charge. We're good on the charge. Everything seems to be good. Struts, tires, braking system. Okay, we're good. We checked the maintenance record and we're good to go. Folks, I'm going to say it again. $20 to enhance the stock Cessna 172, which is already amazing, is a steal. This thing is a great, great, great way to make this aircraft so much better. And with that said, you all be safe out there, and I will talk to you soon.